Hello, beautiful souls. It's Shawna L. and today is January 18th, 2023. We are at our fourth official session with the late Queen Elizabeth. We are learning a lot in a little amount of time, but we are in it for the long haul, guys. So this is becoming pretty clear today. We've got a long way to go. There's going to be so much information coming through. And I know some of us are more eager than others to get on with this. I don't even know. I'm just, I'm still really struggling, to be quite honest. It's been a tough day. As soon as I sat down to get ready for Queen Elizabeth, Melchizedek came in right away. And they just said, Shawna, how are you doing okay? And I just burst into tears, basically. Not even really knowing why I'm crying. there's so many thoughts and emotions and what ifs, and not only just for me, but for the entire planet, to really start to come to grips with the implications of the Queen of England being a reptilian and that entire monarchy being driven by negative reptilians. It's one thing to have a rumor out there. It's a whole other thing to be getting this information directly. And I just can't even comprehend. It's just so much bigger than I ever thought it was going to be. And we've barely even gotten started here. So I'm having a hard time fathoming this. I also talked to the person who is going to have me on his podcast here at the end of January. And now, since I've been channeling the Queen, he is politely declining having me be on his show. He's going to pass on having me be on a show, and I get it. I'm in new territory here. And what I'm doing is not going to align with a lot of audiences. But Melchizedek today assured me that we'll be fine. They said, just get your bearings, get the information flowing, get this going, start to feel more anchored in this, and then there'll be some specific instructions. So I will just be going with the flow until then. Melchizedek also said to me, and I wanted to share this, we would like to say that your heart is still mending from everything that you've been through at the hands of the negative reptilians, that force. So this work, dear one, is bringing up so much more for you than you may consciously be aware of. This is triggering deeply held feelings that go back many lifetimes. So know that this residual sadness and heartbreak are playing a factor for you today. Holy mackerel. I just, coming into this life without any conscious knowledge of any of this, but yet, the atonement here, the karmic balancing, paying off the karmic debt for past deeds done. And we're not talking about stealing a candy bar from the grocery store, I'm beside myself. I'm still beside myself. I'll get there. And, I did talk with Queen Elizabeth today for quite a while. I've got about 1,500 words with her today. And, we're just going to move forward. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have such a incredibly gracious and supportive audience with all of you. Everybody's so loving, kind, respectful, and open-hearted here as we at least get started on this journey. So thank you. Melchizedek and Queen Elizabeth talk about how heavy it's going to be getting. It's just this stuff has got to come out. It's can't be hidden any longer. So we're there. We're to that point, and I worry about my family and what they're going to think, and I don't want to. Everything's going so well. This is just, it's just such a big switch. It's such a big, it is everything. It's why I'm here. It's what I've been gearing up for. It's everything that my team has been talking about, leading up to this moment where now I am channeling Queen Elizabeth, and we are talking about the negative reptilian influence in such a real and tangible way. It's just mind-blowing. I know you guys all feel that with me. Okay, Queen Elizabeth today, going down the elevator, she actually came in as her younger self, looking radiant actually. I'd say around 30 to 35 years old or so. And she had a seat. And, I'm basically seeing her like with the crown and, all dolled up as if she were, going to be on TV or something. So looking very regal and queenly and all that good stuff. And I felt my body really heat up intensely and kind of dissipate. So that was kind of bizarre. But a lot of energy movement today as I started this work today with Queen Elizabeth. I said, hello, Queen Elizabeth. Thanks for joining me wherever you'd like to begin. Oh, thank you, Shawna, she said. Yes, it's nice, quite nice to be my young self again, even if it is just an illusion. I was quite happy like this in my youth. Things were still so very new and exciting. I felt like I was on top of the world. I traveled to so many places, met so many interesting people. I loved seeing the world, and the world loved seeing me. I felt such love and adoration wherever I went. It was quite intoxicating to be around such beautiful, loving energy. I found that I really craved that feeling, so I made a point of physically visiting as many places as I could, as long as it made sense to the regime. For me, it felt as though I did have a choice. It seemed as though I was making decisions. But I know much better now what was really happening. Even so, I genuinely enjoyed this part of my role. My smiles were genuine, and the delight I felt traveling to and fro, seeing new incredible places, meeting people of many different cultures, gave me real delight. It was part of the role that I enjoyed very much, and it was authentic, and it was much better being back at home, sitting behind a desk, and meeting with the internal string holders who were always surrounding me. In the early days, she said, the mask was easy to wear. While I knew on a deep level that this was a facade for the rest of the world's benefit, I did seize the opportunity to enjoy a lot of that work. As I grew a bit older, the facade that I was helping to uphold began to get heavier and heavier until eventually it felt like a burden. That beautiful spark from my 20s and 30s turned into a damp shadow as I reached my 40s and 50s. Shawna, it may be difficult for people to understand when by all appearances I had such a charmed and rich life. But I was becoming increasingly disgruntled and worn out as I every day played out this role very much in the public eye. As time passed by, my life droned on and on, in a cacophony of activity, pomp and circumstance, ritual and duties. It increasingly felt like more of a prison than a privilege as the years went on. Somewhere inside, I began to realize that somehow my life was not my own. That this beautiful, strong-willed, vibrant young woman had fallen right in line, right in step with the program that had been laid out and detailed long before I had even been born. I had certainly tried to make the most of it, at least to a certain point. But looking back, the only thing that really felt real to me, truly felt real, was the love I felt for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. What a joy. In hindsight, everything that transpired in my life was worth it because of my family. It's one of the most endearing qualities about being human, the family bond, that connection. When it's there and when it's real, it is a powerful force. And when you feel a love like that, when you are able to see and know and feel at that level, it changes you. It certainly has changed me. One of the major reasons why I am leaving this reptilian world behind and moving to the world of light is that I do not want anyone else to suffer or to be stunted or to be robbed of their complete and total capacity to experience happiness, joy, and love. It's extremely unfair, it's cruel, and it's just plain wrong. Every single person on this planet deserves to feel that love. Every person on the planet deserves to be immersed in this love. Feeling love, knowing love, being loved. It's humanity's birthright. And I'm so sorry to say that in many ways, it has been stolen from you. What I've come to understand is that it does not have to be this way. There is an opportunity, a real opportunity, to change the status quo. And I understand that this will be an immense burden. And those of you who hear these messages mentally and emotionally and spiritually, this may be taxing on you. It's as though I'm bringing this extremely heavy burden up to the surface, and now I am dispersing it amongst all of you. For this aspect of the work, I am sorry. Man, and when those words came through, I was again crying. I really, really felt this deeply, the emotion behind those words. As I've said, she continued, we have light on our side as these heavy burdens rise to the surface through my efforts and the efforts of my partner, Shawna. We humbly ask that you be open to receive this burden in the form of knowledge and wisdom, and help raise it even higher, up to the light where it may be transmuted, transformed, and eventually released. Bringing this information to the light will require the most muscle, the most focus, the most intensity and will of heart. Then collectively we join together to continue raising it, continue bringing the darkness up into the light where it can finally be seen, finally be known and understood. And this shall help begin the healing process. I also humbly ask that each of you be consciously aware of the level of fear you may be holding in regard to this information. And I realize that this is asking a lot from someone who was once an integral part of the regime that helps foster fear at every level. Today's regime will stop at nothing to help keep these hands in motion, to keep the machine running. In the UK and far beyond that, across the entire globe, it can be seen very plainly how the stunting of growth and the dampening of love can be traced back to an institution that takes fear and wields it like a very sharp sword. But love is a force that disintegrates that sword with one glance. And I'd like to tell you now that the deep love that I have for my family is making this choice to leave behind the negative reptilian life and move into love and light, an easy choice. Shawna, she continued, we are all entering this new era together, and our individual choices to align with love, deeply personal choices, will be what makes the difference as we move through the ascension process. This may not be an easy path. Yet, here we are, some of us trepidatious, some of us fully anchored, yet somehow all connected through this existence. My negative reptilian cohorts on the human side of the veil will not make it easy for Shawna and me to bring these truths to the light, but we will persevere. This will be successful because the light always will win. For all of you who embark on this journey with us today, you are providing us all with an incredible service. We will need your strength and love in the coming times, your open heart, your willingness, and your discernment. This will be an incredible journey, and for this I am deeply appreciative. Thank you to this team. Thank you to Shawna. Thank you to the angelic realm who has opened their hearts to me. Thank you to our galactic families, the Ascended Masters, all the collectives supporting these endeavors as we strive to be anchored in the light. And that is where she ended it. I said, thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth, for these words. It's beautiful. I said, thank you, yes, to all of our teams on both sides of the veil. Yeah, this is a group effort for sure. Oh my gosh. I guess that's really it for today. Just still so much to ponder, and so much is yet to come. And literally being in the moment is the only way that we can do this. It's the only way I can really do this. I have a lot going on tomorrow. I am not sure I'll make a video. And next week I've got my whale watching expedition going on, so I'll take a couple of days off for that. Otherwise, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you the next day, hopefully. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your beautiful comments, all your love and support. Both of us appreciate it. Okay, guys. Mwah.